Hey, y'all, and welcome to Voices Beyond the Pages, the podcast where stories and voices meet. I'm your host, Audrey Shaunie, an audiobook narrator who got her start on TikTok, sharing my journey with all its highs, lows, and everything in between. Each episode, we celebrate the voices shaping the storytelling world, BIPOC narrators, indie authors, and the readers who love them. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or just feel seen, you're in the right place. Grab a drink and get comfy. You're gonna love it here. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Voices Beyond the Pages. This month's theme is Access is Power, and today's conversation is one I've been wanting to have for a while. Because here's the thing, audiobooks aren't just about convenience. For so many listeners, they're about access. Access to stories, to representation, to knowledge, to peace of mind. They're about feeling seen and included in a world that often overlooks certain voices. And speaking of community, I want to give a quick shout out to the Booksplosive girls. If you don't know, Booksplosive is an amazing group of Black women, readers, and creators holding space for authentic book discussions, romance hot takes, and real community building. We pride ourselves on the ability to hold each other accountable and to hold each other up in ways we don't even realize we need. It's more than just a group. It's a support system. I'm so proud of how everyone has grown since Corfro brought this community to life. The way y'all pour into each other is such an inspiration. And I thank you for the support you've given, not just me, but to one another. Today's guest is someone I met through this beautiful space, and I've been wanting to have this conversation with them for a while. DonDon is an avid audiobook listener and a community member I deeply respect. And she knows firsthand just how powerful access to audio can be. Hey, DonDon, thank you so much for being here with me today. And this month is Access is Power. You're an avid audiobook reader.
Yeah.
So I just want to shine a light on how, having audiobooks is a necessity in reading in general.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to have you on today.
Okay.
So I have just a few questions for you, and I just want to get your perspective on, just answer it, casual, it's nothing serious.
All right.
Okay. So first you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Donisha, but aka Audiobook Girlie. I am a single mom who just got back into reading last year. Yeah, pretty much. I don't really, that's just pretty much me. I just take care of my daughter and I work and I come home and listen and read books. That is my life.
We're going to start simple. How did you first get into audiobooks? You said you've been, reading for a year now. What made you fall in love with audiobooks?
Okay. So, I am a Twilight girly. I have never read the book. So, I had an Audible, whatever. So, I had a bunch of credits at the time. So, that's where I started. I started out with the whole Twilight series. And then from there, I just kind of went down this rabbit hole. Of course, I went on TikTok and started looking up like videos of Twilight and all this stuff. And then, boom, discovered Book Talk. Then I think the first book out of Twilight that I read listened to was Haunting and Hunting Adeline. And I went, like I said, I just went down a rabbit hole after that. Yeah.
I know. Audiobooks, always loved audiobooks, but I think my first one was
The Colleen Hoover book. I forgot the name.
Yeah.
With Us. Yeah.
Yes. That was the very first audiobook I listened to in my adult life. And that was back in 2022. I finally had time, silent, quiet time to myself. And I was working a job and I was listening to this book and I was like, oh my gosh, it just opened up a new world for me. And then I moved to Ethic, and after that, it was just up. And I was like, wow, I just loved audiobooks. So I 100% get it. Like, I love listening. I love the theatrics and all that. So what role do audiobooks play in your daily life? For you, is it about like convenience? Is it about accessibility? Or is it something deeper?
For me, I guess it's kind of both of convenience and accessibility, because the job I work at is kind of lenient. It's an adult daycare. So it's not a lot to work to do. So it's like, most of the time I'm just like, okay, I could be listening to my book. So I do.
Yeah. It's nice to not have to pick a physical book up.
Yeah.
You know? Have you ever felt unseen or excluded in the audiobook world? Like maybe in terms of representation, platform accessibility, or the kinds of narrators that are like chosen?
No, not really. Not really. Especially going to like Indie Love this year and meeting some of the narrators. All of them were nice and just as pleasant. And the fact that all of them knew who I was. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that because we are so well immersed in Black book talk, feeling unseen or excluded in the audiobook world is thankfully something that we don't really experience too much. Because we are so well immersed in Black book talk, and there are so many indie authors now that have their books on audio. So I definitely like that. That's not a thing for us.
Too.
Like it, you know?
Yeah, I like that too. Because I feel like for me to meet them, it just felt like I was meeting friends, even though I really didn't know them personally.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorites in narrators?
Definitely Wesley. Wesley is my girl. Jacoby, Dion, Emmanuel Ingram. I don't know what it is. I feel like it means like my boyfriend in my head. I love Emmanuel.
I love him and Winston. Like, oh.
Yeah, like this, but I could say this year, Winston has definitely bumped his way up to like my top 3 male narrators. Midnight Michael.
Yeah.
Tony Isabella, like him too. And who else? Oh, Alex Monroe, Tree Taylor, Shaunie Michaels, a bunch of them. My mind is running a bunch of them. I love EK. Yeah.
Oh, and it makes me feel like I feel so. I don't know how I feel, but it's like everybody that you named, like majority of them, I actually know them, which is so weird because like having not been in the space for that long and, having access to the narrators that, everybody loves and have like actually knowing them and being able to contact them on a daily basis if I needed to is crazy. Like I never would have thought like ever that I would have be like, oh, I sat and actually pretty much had lunch with Ekane, or, me and Alex Moreau were sitting there having drinks together, or, I had a conversation with Midnight Mike and his wife. Like, they'll just being able to be in the space and have all these, big names in our world,
Right.
and just know them. And I've only been doing this since last year. That's crazy to me. If somebody would tell me that, I would have been like, you're lying.
Right.
No way.
Yeah.
When you think about access is power, what does that phrase mean for you personally? Like, what do you think of when you hear that?
Access to power. Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I guess it's like how we can access a lot of things, especially with the internet and the way this world has moved. It's just like to be accessible to a bunch of stuff. It can also be a dangerous thing too. Yeah. Well, especially if you don't use it in the right way. Yeah. I guess that's kind of my answer.
If publishers, narrators, or creators or creators like yourself, could do one thing to increase access in the audiobook space, what do you think it would be? That one is kind of hard.
Yeah.
I have an episode coming up. It's about diversity in voices.
Yeah.
And I have an episode, what is the title of it? About what the industry can do in order to basically make sure that everybody has access and everybody is, representation is there. So it's something that I think that a lot of us don't think of. And I think of it because I see it from a different perspective now because I'm in narration, but publishers, a lot of the times, they are the ones that are in control of who is going to get these books and who is going to be the narrator for these, stories. And so I think that publishers especially need to do a better job at casting diversely, because of course we all have our favorites. Yeah.
Right.
But it's nice to hear different voices and different tones and dialects and stuff because everybody can't be these same 4 or 5 people, let somebody else get a chance, So, and I know now it's really difficult because we have certain narrators who have cornered the market, so to speak. And it's dang, how do you even kind of wriggle in there and make a impact if publishers aren't choosing the outside of the ones that authors just want, because they're of course going to choose the popular one because the popular one's going to sell the book,
Right.
But sometimes the popular one is not always the best choice. It might be somebody else who can bring the story to life just as well as that popular narrator could, So,
I definitely agree with that. Definitely give everybody a chance, because that's just how I am. I'll give you a chance, especially if you work out. But because that's how I kind of discovered the narrators that I do like now as my favorite. I never listened to them before until our first time I'm hearing them on, books and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always get excited when I see new narrators enter the space, especially new Black narrators enter the space, because I think there was definitely a catalyst for the podcast was somebody actually got into my DMs and was like, I didn't even know there were Black narrators. And I was like, wow, seriously? And so they were like, yeah, I didn't know. But I think that if you're immersed in the other side of book talk, the more white side of book talk than the Black side of book talk, then that's all you're seeing. And I guess for me, it's probably the same way because I don't know very many white narrators, I might know them within the book talk space, but actually know their body of work, I don't. So that's definitely something that I know I can improve on too, is just making sure that I kind of, know narrators that are of other ethnicities than just Black narrators, Yeah. So we're going to do a fun little wrap-up question. what is one audiobook you listened to recently that you think everyone should hear? And you don't have to necessarily choose one, because I know you listen to a lot, but
Yeah.
what is one for sure?
If I had to choose, but if I'm going to give you one, it has to be The Reformatory by Redo. And that is narrated by Shaunie Pratt. That book, it's like a historical fiction, and it's like dealing with also like a suspense and thriller. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so
You said it's called The Reformatory?
The Reformatory.
I'm gonna have to listen to it. I'm gonna look it up and see if I can find it, because
I recommend the audio more than I say reading the book.
Oh wow. So it must be a real good performance. What am I listening to right now? Historically, everybody says it all the time. Shaunie, you don't read. I do not really read anymore.
Yeah.
But last night I ended up reading Group Trip by Aria Days. That was really good. I enjoyed that. And now I hopped back into Granger, Secret Life of Maggie Gray.
I've never heard of those.
Secret Life of Maggie Gray. I'm listening to that by Granger. And I'm alternating that with Intrigued by Danger by India Carter.
Listen to those. See, that's where I discovered Tree Taylor.
I love Tree Taylor. And she is so sweet in person. Like, I met her in person and I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't fangirl at first. I waited to the very, very end.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, here's my time. This is my time to, to fangirl. Yeah. I was like, and I was just like, I listened to your book. I've listened to all the Dangerous books so many times. If I could ever get my hands on that series, boy, oh boy, that would be.
Right.
I don't even really have a lot of physical books, but if there's one series that I want, hands down, it is the Danger Brothers series. Like, if I could just get those 3 books, I would love it. But anyway, thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us today. And these are just the conversations that remind me why, like, this work matters, and not just as a narrator, but as someone who, like, believes in storytelling and believes that it should always be, like, accessible. So thank you so much for coming on today, and I will see you around the book talk space.
I definitely had fun. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye. Thank you so much, DonDon, for sharing your perspective with us today. These are the conversations that remind me why this work matters, not just as a narrator, but as someone who believes storytelling should always be accessible. Y'all, I hope this conversation gave you something to think about. Whether you're a creator, a reader, or just someone navigating this world, remember, access is power. And it's on all of us to make sure everyone has a seat at the table. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow Voices Beyond the Pages wherever you listen. Leave a quick rating or review to help the podcast grow. And share it with a friend who loves stories as much as you do. And if you're an author looking to bring your book to life in audio, or a listener who wants to connect, you can find more about my services and upcoming projects at Voices Beyond Media on Instagram, or by emailing me directly. All the links are in the show's notes. Thank you for being here. Until next time, This is Voices Beyond the Pages, the space where stories and voices meet. You're gonna love it here.